He's going to find himself getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on. So New York in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races. Only up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Barani, not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Haight deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin. But I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the loud pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Oh, Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And it definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well. Typical, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down it towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third. Yeah, Barani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed more and forward up ahead. He's got out of line. Is now Pike going to have a go at Werrell? Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's just like chopper. He's like on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Moving on to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's a lot of fun. Yeah.
It's all about the entertainment, so I hope
everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is enjoying himself watching the Burger King machines off into the grass a little bit there. Is that really bunching up now?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the BSC Summer Season Round 4 from Sonoma Raceway. I'm James Parfitt, going to be joined in the booth by one Mr. Kenton Sportak this evening. It is the Sonoma 40. We got 40 lap race with a stage break at lap 15. Sorry.
Last time out at Auto Club, it was Clint Holterman who took the win from Andrew Williams with Brandon McLaughlin not too far away. What has that done for the championship? Well, Clint Holterman is out in front on 150 points. Andrew Williams on 138, and then Nick Stockner on 108. Then you go into Devon Collicott, Noel Jackowitz, Alex Witt, Andrew Burrell, Armand Brousseau, Cody Kern, Christian Strada, Andrew Jamelin, Joshua Keefe, Brandon McLaughlin, Trenton Kimmel, Hunter Carlson, and then Rob Sizemore, Jason Taylor, Seth Pegg, Joshua Kuhn, TJ down there, Andrew Onquist, Tom Kuhn, Calvin Ross, Bradley Young, and Anthony Radel. Then the last ones are Brett Sherman, Gregory Sherman, Matthew Norberg, and Dan Michelle, as we know, is not going to be here for the duration of 2024. Sonoma Raceway, 1.9 miles, 3.2 kilometres in length, and well, it's a road circuit, so that's the only one good thing coming out of this evening is we will only have the normal yellow flags at stage break. There will not be any other yellows for people going off track, and let's bring Kenton in because I'm excited about that. Kenton, welcome in, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing well. The sun's been shining, and I think it was actually almost 20 degrees out today, so doing good, enjoying the weather.
Yes, Sonoma. Road circuit for NASCAR. You know, everybody pretty much knows that I'm not a lover of NASCARs or road circuits, so we won't dwell on that one. What do we expect from here, though? Because this is still a tough road circuit for these guys.
Yeah, it is a very tricky circuit overall. I mean, even for a very built for NASCAR style road circuit, there's quite a few spots that can be dangerous in themselves just based on the layout of them, from between turn 1 and going up the hill in turn 2, after turn 3 going up that little hill there as it can kind of bottom out the car, and then going into turn 4 where you can really kind of hit a curb and it'll send you all the way around, and there's a wall that kind of protrudes right there, which can cause problems. But the biggest issue is going to be getting on the throttle coming out of some of these slower corners. Your tires can spin very easily, and preserving your rear tires especially is going to be very important around here. And I know they don't have a ton of extra spares sitting around. Yeah, so they only have 2 tires, so you really need to take care of those tires in the beginning of the stint. Otherwise, the end of the stint is going to feel very terrible.
Yeah, well, let's see how they get on. Last time out at Auto Club, it was very, very close. It was less than a tenth between Andrew Williams and Clint Holtman. Holtman did take the win there as well. Going on next week, we go to Iowa Speedway and then Homestead, Miami, before we go into Nashville Super Speedway. Then we deliver and go to another road circuit, Chicago Street Course, and then the Pocono Raceway. Then we got Indianapolis, Chicagoland Speedway, and Michigan International Speedway on August 13th. That will be the last one we will do for the summer season. Quite a jam-packed calendar, still loads to come for you, so stay tuned on the JPB YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on the bells, and do all that other fancy jazz that you can do here. We have got a 10-minute set of qualifying here for these guys this evening, Kenton. I think that's purely in the hope that to make sure that they can get a lap in.
Yeah, I mean, it's on the faster end, you're looking at about a minute 14. On the very fast end, I think that'll be kind of our higher end, and then I think it drops down to about a minute 20. So there can be a little bit of discrepancy, but definitely will require some finesse to make it around at those kind of higher speeds as well.
Yeah, Noel Jackowitz on pole at the moment on 1:17.58. Then Devon Collicott, and then Joshua Kuhn. Joshua Keefe's just put a time on the board. Andrew Almquist, you can see 1:22 for Andrew Almquist. Some other people out on track. Calvin Ross is out there this evening as well in that number 20 Toyota Camry. Armand Brousseau is out on the racetrack as well, doing a great job, as he always does, managing the league. He's out on this racetrack as well, probably sitting there laughing at the fact that he's got NASCARs on a road circuit, knowing my opinion, shall we say.
I mean, I don't know how he knows. You hide it so well.
Oh, do I hell. Come on, let's be real about it. If any of these people don't know by now, it is not my favourite combination whatsoever. I think so many people are used to going left turn constantly. I think at the end of the day, it's just it is what it is for me. I think on this one. Well, where you going, Mr. Brusso? As he's just gone ceremoniously off track here. Mind you, that tricky turn one, he didn't get it rotated and tries to jump. Does he hold it? No, he does not. He goes flying off to the side there of the road. So Armand Brusso having some fun while he's out there this evening.
I mean, you kind of have to. Like you said, it's a road course on these big, heavy machines. And it can be a complete nightmare. Like this corner we just looked at as Halterman made his way through. I've seen people, not even touch a sole and suddenly spin out going through there. This curb here can upset the car drastically, and that wall comes up real fast as you make your way out of that turn before we head into, oddly enough, technically turn number 7 after turn 4, which is very weird, but that's just because how the layout of the track goes. So it's a very odd layout because there's the interior section of the track as well. But yeah, like you said, no caution or no full course cautions. We'll have some localized yellow flags every once in a while, but at least it flies by.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's always interesting to watch, I think, and I can bring my rusty old memory back to the last season. I believe we was here for one of the last seasons. Well, I can't remember if it was the last one or the one before. I think I'm not quite that good at memory, and some of these cars did struggle. Some of the drivers did struggle. Do we think that some of them have gone out and practiced? Maybe might be a good idea here this evening.
Some of them for sure did. I know I saw a couple of people talking about how they were sort of floating around in terms of times and things like that. So some people for sure got in there and threw some laps in just to get comfortable with the track. And it is a very tricky track. If you don't practice, you're not gonna have a good time. As Peggle says, this is Struggle City, and yeah, that can be a thing. It's counterintuitive for how these tracks or these vehicles actually feel on roads usually, because usually it's just turning left, so it doesn't feel quite the same and can feel a little off, but it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, it's. I agree with you, Seth. I agree with you 100% on that one. As we're looking at Nick Stockner as we're coming into the last 3 minutes of qualifying. These guys have all had 2 laps to do a qualifying time here, so Stockner is coming over just for his last one. We've got 2.5 minutes remaining of quali. He puts himself up into 8th on a 1:18.44. You can see the difference throughout the field is 6 seconds from Clint Holterman on a 1:15 to Armand Brusso on a 1:21. So it's going to be tough, I think, for some of these guys. Brandon McLaughlin has not set a time. He did go out, but has not set a time. And Rob Sizemore has not been out at all. So I'm not quite sure if Rob is actually joining us within the session. We will keep an eye out for him and see what he does here as well. But let us know. I haven't put a poll up, guys, of 5 or under 5 cautions or whatever, partly due to the fact that they're only local. So if somebody goes off track, well, it's kind of tough in a reality kind of form. You will only have one, which should be the stage break. I don't think, unless there's a mass pile-up, Kenton, that there's any reason to have any more.
Yeah, pretty sure you don't have to worry too much about it. And this track has kind of a lot of wide runoffs. There's not a ton of space that's you don't really have a car that like a space for your car to go off track, so there shouldn't be too many issues if someone goes wide or spins. There's lots of ways to get around them. It's just going to be keeping your head up and paying attention. But the only spot that really can be a problem is that corner. If you do go a little wide and clip that wall, you are 100% going right back into the middle of the track. So just kind of have to avoid that sort of thing, but that'll be up to the drivers to pay attention to and not me, and I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that as well. I think, to be blatantly honest, I'm okay with the drivers having to deal with this once more. 56 seconds remaining. We are on board with Joshua Kuhn, partly because he's the only one running. I think he's practicing some corners at the moment because he's just he's already done his 2 laps. He's got a 1:18.61 on the board, so I think he is just driving around here as well. If you're in any form of facility of Sonoma this weekend, you can go up to the racetrack. June the 7th, it's the Arca Menards West Series for the General Tyre 200, and then the Zip Buy Now, Pay Later 250 for the NASCAR Xfinities on the Saturday. Now, obviously on the Sunday, you have got the Toyota Save Mart 350 for the NASCAR Cup Series. That goes off at 12:30 p.m. So if you do want to get yourselves involved in that one, tickets are available, and you can head over to SonomaRaceway.com. Click on the events, click on the ones you want, and you can get yourself some tickets if you so wish to. I might watch it purely out of interest, but I don't know if I'm probably going to enjoy it, I think be the terminology. But let's bring up the grid. Clint Holtman is on pole position with Devon Collicott in second, Noel Jackowitz in third, Andrew Jamelin in fourth, Christian Strado in fifth, Matthew Norberg in sixth, Andrew Burrell in seventh, Nick Stockner in eighth, Joshua Kuhn in ninth, Hunter Carlson 10th, Calvin Ross 11th, and then Seth Pegg down in 12th. Then you've got Trenton Kimmel, Andrew Onquist, Joshua Keefe, Brandon McLaughlin, and Rob Sizemore will be the last one on the grid here, ready to go. And I think overall it's going to be very, very interesting, Kenton, but I'm not entirely sure how well it's going to go for some of them.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, I think, for a few guys today. Like we said, it's not the easiest of tracks,
nope.
But as long as you're patient, smooth on the throttle, smooth inputs, you should be okay.
Well, let's see. It's all about throttle management. They will have a full pace lap to get to grips with this circuit, and then we'll be off and running for the Sonoma 40 here this evening. Don't forget, guys, as well, let us know if you are in chat and who you're voting for or who you want to win. We got no TJ this evening, no Bradley Young either, so I'm not expecting to have the TJ Spainhauer massive in the YouTube chat this evening, but there we go. Word Wizard, smooth input is Sizemore's middle name, but is he going to come from the back? That's the problem, as there was a big old checkup going on there. I think Seth Pegg did just check up, and unfortunately I believe Andrew Olquist behind him had to also check up. Is Sizemore going to come from the back though, Wizard? That's going to be the thing. It's a long way back, mind you, but we'll see how it goes. Kenton, do you have high hopes for this race circuit for the racing here this evening?
I think the racing will be pretty interesting. I know two of our better known road drivers are not here today, and in losing Alex Witt and Dan Michaud. Noel Jackowitz, though, usually is pretty solid here, and I'm curious how Halterman does. As he's been very close to the front on the last few races we've had that he's been there. So I think it's going to be very interesting at the front, and then, you know, like any road race, eventually it'll sort of soften between drivers, but we'll see how it plays out throughout the entirety of the race, because I think there'll be some very interesting battles going on throughout the race.
Yeah, they're on their way round turn 9 at the moment, guys, before we go round the right-hander of turn 10, and then the run down into 11 for the final run up the start-finish straight into turn 12, or the start-finish left-hander, whichever way you really want to look at it. The Porsche safety car is going to peel in. I'm surprised we haven't had the truck or the Mustang out on track yet for the pace lap, so we'll get hold of Armor Bruce, see if we can get the truck. The truck does look quite good. But guys, here we go. The Sonoma 40 is off and running as Clint Holtman has bolted right at the beginning. It is green, green, green round the left-hander of turn 1. This is where we're expecting to see some of the troubles here as they start going around turn 1. Everybody's looking like they're making it through. Rob Sizemore is still at the back, but it is Clint Altman, who leads the run down to the left-hander of turn 3, and then we're going to go up and to the right-hander of turn 3A, believe it or not, before we go into 4A. So that's quite nice, because we haven't got no 4, but everybody got away cleanly. Nobody real issues right at the beginning, and at the moment it's as we were from the grid. Everybody's still in the same place. The only one that's changed positions is young Mr. Armand Brousseau, who's up 1 over Joshua Keefe here.
Yeah, I mean, a very clean. I think I saw Almquist have a little bit of a lockup going up to turn 2 there, but other than that, seemed pretty smooth going through all of that, which is good. That's what you want to see. And Halterman, yeah, he got himself a fantastic jump, was able to kind of cover off Cullicott just behind him and sort of hold on to first position while he made his way through turn 1. We'll see how the rest of this plays out. As it looks like Strada looking to make a move going into the hairpin.
Do you know, the thing is for that, he had such an overrun. He could have put that on the inside there, because Jamelin did have to check up because of Jackowitz in front. So Strada kind of might have missed a little bit of an opportunity on that one, but it's great racing all the way through. Rob Sizemore has been off the side of the circuit. Has poor old Rob. It looks like he may have had a little bit of a moment all on his own. Wizard Smooth input is Sizemore's middle name. Well, I think he was trying to avoid somebody there. Oh, it was a big, whoa, 2 big snaps there as well, and I think that may have been Brandon McLaughlin who went off with him at the same time. It was Brandon. He got a big old snap. Well, apart from obviously going up through turn 1 there, but he did get another snap right in front of Rob Sizemore. Sizemore's into the pits already. Christian Strada's under pressure from Matthew Norberg at the moment here. There's another spinner at the back. That's Calvin Ross. He unfortunately has done some pirouettes as well as young Mr. Ross. This is what we're talking about, Kenton, with smooth throttle inputs. Oh,
yeah,
and the curb.
Yes, curbs are always terrifying in these cars. They don't really deal with them super well, and the curbs and around Sonoma and a lot of the places that you're going to hit them on those big turns. So I believe it's turn 7A and turn 4A are both pretty sketchy and can definitely throw you for, as we saw, a loop very easily with very little warning, and it's hard to catch these cars once they're going around. You're kind of hooped at that point. So yeah, Sizemore, unfortunate, kind of trying to check up so he didn't take out McLaughlin, as McLaughlin kind of lost it, and unfortunately for him, looked like he got some solid damage on that rear right tire, and that kind of ended things for him as Hunter Carlson goes for a little dipsy spin.
Yeah, it shows us how not to take that curb. It's kind of settled down out the front. Stockner's just about to go up the inside of one Mr. Andrew Borrow, past turn 7A. Then further back we got Andrew Onquist. He's trying to make a way on the inside at Joshua Keefe. Keefe does manage to hold on now through the left-hander of coming down into turn 8, which is just about now. And Calvin Ross has also made it through on Onquist as well. So Onquist lost 2 places in the space of 2 corners there. Round the left-hander of turn 9 before we go round the right-hander of turn 10. Can Onquist settle this down? Calvin Ross looks like he's on another run here as he's going up the inside currently at the moment of Joshua Keefe. Is he going to make it through without any issues? He is at the moment, but it's tough coming out the other side.
Oh, as we saw Car have a little bit of a spin a little further back, but it looks like he actually kept it all together and had very few issues there, which is good. But yeah, it's a tough track, and these guys, I mean, other than a couple of little spins, it's keeping it all together pretty well, which is great. And Ultiman, though, almost 5 seconds lead already. He's having himself a great race so far.
Yeah, definitely there as well. Anna McAtee excited for Andrew Burrell in P number 8 at the moment in that 1-2-1 forward as Keefe does go up the inside, gets the job done over Andrew Onquist. Onquist trying to come back round the outside. Is he going to be able to make it through? He is, and Onquist recovers, and Keefe just cannot make it through. What about Devon Collicott? He's under pressure from Noel Jackowitz here. Round the hairpin we go. It's going to be very interesting, this, I think, to see how many cars can get to the end without any major problems.
tracks to try and do that around. It looks like Sizemore actually is back in pit lane. So I'm curious if what's going on there. If you just had to get a couple more repairs done, and a little switch back out of Andrew Almquist on Keith there. Nice little move. He cuts down on the inside. It's fantastic. The hard part for that hairpin is getting down to speed, but actually kind of rolling and maintaining that speed. Otherwise, you kind of are a sitting duck. These cars don't accelerate super well, and none of the NASCARs really ever have. So they have to be pretty cautious on really focusing to roll the car through these corners, opposed to trying to heavy brake and then stop and then get going. Yeah, you gotta definitely keep it on the track. It's also important.
Yeah.
But yeah, trying to take advantage of rolling the car through these corners, opposed to coming to a much more of a stop. You're just going to be able to carry much more speed that way and really kind of push the car.
Yeah, Trenton, Kim, Calvin Ross wiggling their way through 7, 8, 9, and 10 here. Ross does look quick, just doesn't look controlled as Armand Brusso's just gone past. That was Joshua Keefe, sorry. Nick Stockner has looked like he unfortunately done himself a little bit of a cropper here for the orange. No. Yes, it is Stockner all on his own. He's going to go round and do some lovely pirouettes. Andrew Burrell just missing him there. So everybody else quite spread out. Clint Altman out in front, 6.3 seconds. He's kind of done what we were hoping that was going to happen. He's kind of just... He clearly has been practicing, right? And he's just rolling the cars through. He's allowing it to stay on track, and he's done a great job in the meantime.
Yeah, he's looked absolutely fantastic, and like we said, yeah, just the ability to let the car, get it down slow enough, but then you just have to let it roll. Trail braking in these guys does not work. These cars, for whatever reason, do not like to trail brake, so you have to get down to speed beforehand, and then really just let the car roll its way through. Otherwise, it's gonna feel super twitchy and on skates as you make your way through these corners. So yeah, he's looks like he's definitely taking advantage of a few practice laps around this track.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's practice has probably paid off for some people. Jay Millen here has got Christian Strada 1.9 seconds back. He's got Matthew Norberg in that 76 Tabasco liveried Chevrolet from behind him, sitting in 6th. They're coming round the top part of the circuit. That is around turn 2, sorry, before they go on the left-hand up for turn 3 and then 3A, and then we go to 4A, and then we go to 7A. So pick that one out. But that is due to the layout of the circuit, and the numbering has just not changed, unfortunately. Technically, this is coming down into turn 5 if you want to follow the number sequence here, Kenton. But it's not always easily done at some race circuits.
Yeah, the infield takes quite a few of those corners that you can kind of have, and I think it actually technically still has a drag strip right down the middle.
It does, yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I believe there's still one that kind of follows its way from the end, or once you come out of turn 12 all the way basically straight down to turn 7, right down the middle of the entire circuit. It's a very interesting track. Lots of things that they can do here, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I like the fact that they've got a drag strip. You can see it starts off just coming up, go there, and there it runs all the way down the start-finish circuit. So the drag strip there is still here at Sonoma. I don't think they've got any drag racing going on, but it's always worth a look, as it looks like we've got a nice little battle here with Brandon McLaughlin, Joshua Keefe, and Armand Brusso. McLaughlin's just about to go, is he, up the inside of Keefe. Keefe's there. Keefe can't get that corner right. That's not the first time we've seen him go in very deep into the hairpin. Now the left-hander at turn 12 before they go through the left of turn 1, which is just about now, and then coming up into turn 2. Under the Toyota bridge we go. Don't let the car bottle out. Armand Brusso just got that incredibly wrong at that moment in time and ends up going off the side of the circuit. But then again, that's another flashpoint that we did mention. They've got to make sure they can keep that car going round at turn 1 and 2. And unfortunately, it looks like Joshua Keefe is into the pits. What did he do? Well, unfortunately, it looks like he's had a bit of a
lot of
bump.
curb.
Yeah, too much curb as he's gone running off there as well. He's now just had to jump straight back into the pits. So, yeah, tough one. Where is my son, James, says Terry Spainhow Senior. Sir, I have no idea. I don't have no idea where TJ is or Brad is this evening, Mr. Oh, Nick! Yowza! That would have been a penalty if it hit that car then of Josh Kuhn. But yeah, sorry to Mr. Terry Spainhow Senior. I have no idea.
I know he said he doesn't like this, so he'll see us in Iowa, is what TJ said. So that, I think, is just he doesn't want to have to do Sonoma, which I'm sure someone in the booth might agree with. So he has definitely stayed out, and I don't know who.
I don't know what you mean. Unfortunately, us up in the booth don't get drop weeks, otherwise this would be one of mine.
I'll just solo it.
Yeah. Is there any broadcast tonight? No? James is on a drop week.
Yeah, James is on a drop week. As a side note, they actually they brought drag racing back to Sonoma. It had left after 2019, and they brought it back for 2021. So they are still doing drag racing here.
That's COVID period, isn't it? 19 to 21.
Yeah.
So that would have been why. I think there was a lot of race circuits struggled during that COVID period. But then again, I don't get really why. Obviously, they're not making money, and obviously, depending on if the staff took furlough or anything like that, that's probably their main expense. You know, anything like electric or utilities, just turn them all off and then you leave. You know what I mean? For a couple of years. See you in a bit. Take care. Adios. You know what I mean? So that really would be the only problem, whether or not, obviously, the full-time staff, if there is any, of course, at race circuits, actually stayed on and didn't take the furlough. So that's probably the main cost there. But Nick Stockner, Hunter Carls, has Nick had another little bit of a ta-ta-ta, or was this the one that we saw? No, it looks like he's had another one here. Oh, dearie me, got that all wrong. Well,
he seems to have having a little bit of an issue kind of figuring out where the brake point is going into the hairpin there of turn 11, which is fair. It is a tricky corner because you have to get slowed down. These cars, they like to go fast and stay there. They don't really like having to slow down super quickly.
Carl Larson got his waiver today. Maybe TJ thought he could get one as well. Possible. I don't know. I know they get a drop week, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So that's possibly what TJ has had. But to be fair, come on, Terry. Can you really blame him? You know what I mean? You really blame him. Cars are a little bit more spread out than we would have liked, but we do expect them to come back in about 4 laps' time. The stage is at lap 15 here. Joshua Keefe has gone off track and has jumped straight back to the pits. But that's never a good sign for that number 4. Ooh. Is he going to hit a wall? Oh, but I guess enough is enough for Joshua Keefe. Rob Sizemore down 3 laps, so he is still running, which is great to see, but he's just down a few laps here once again. So there we go. Let's see what happens over the next 4 laps, Kenton, before we get to stage, which I believe probably Clint Holterman is going to wrap up.
I mean, I got a sneaky suspicion he's got a chance of taking the stage break. I don't know why, but I got a feeling. But yeah, no, absolutely.
Why did that make you want to just burst into song then? I've got a feeling.
I almost continued it. Yeah, I almost did, and then I was like, no, I won't. So
why not? Go for it. You know what I mean? Live. Let everybody hear that sultry Canadian rough voice there that we're going to be coming so accustomed to. Ooh. I would have raced just for points.
Causing people problems.
I think that the problem is they have to break so early, right? They cannot afford to let that run in like you normally would, right? If you have a look at Clint Holterman here, it's going to be very difficult to see where he's braking because obviously these cars don't have lights, right? You know what I mean? So we'll have to pick out where he lifts off. I'm kind of expecting it to be about here. It kind of is, isn't it? You're on the wall.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of the hardest part about road racing, especially in NASCAR, but road racing in general. But yeah, you kind of have to hit that braking point, and then you kind of have to adjust for tire wear. Obviously, as the tires sort of kind of burn a little bit, you're going to have to focus on, okay, well, it's, you know, the tires aren't as grippy, and, you know, track temperature is a little warmer, so I'm going to brake a little earlier. So it does take a little bit of finesse and finagling to get your way through. But yeah, that kind of, where the wall sort of almost comes right onto the track, yeah, you basically want to start the heavy brake, and you have to brake in a straight line in these cars. They will go completely around if you try and turn while braking with these guys.
Yeah, I think that's probably not the best idea. I'll tell you what though, Calvin Ross got a wicked run coming out the hairpin. He goes up the inside of Hunter Carlson. Calvin's on a bit of a march at the moment, and he's now in 9th place, still up 2 on his grid slot, but he's doing an absolutely incredible job. He just passed Hunter Carlson there with absolute ease, as we've got 2 laps remaining before stage here. He should have let me race it for him. I would have made laps, just saying, TJ, if you're listening. Well, you need to go and get yourself a sim rig, Mr. Spain, and come and join us, couldn't you? And then we could bring you in for an interview and see what you have to say about the racing.
I mean, I'm down for it. Let's do it.
I'm down for it as well.
But I think it has to be a road course.
Ooh.
And it must be enjoyed with at least one spicy beverage, we'll call them.
Chicago.
Because I just want to see that dinner. There you go. I'm down for it.
I'm calling it now, Chicago. Because, let's face it, just 2 squares put together by a little bit of a line, so that could be a bit of an interesting one. As Carlson does close up just a little bit. Seth pegs another one. That is a door wide open there, but Seth just not grabbing the opportunity to be able to get through. And Armand Brusso and Andrew Almquist on their way down as well. Brusso trying to go around the outside of the hairpin. That's a little bit brave. He does lock up and does not get that car stopped. However, he does get a wicked entry with that car sliding all around here as well. 2 Ford Mustangs going at each other around the final corner, over the line. Start coming up the hill for turn 1 before they go into the right-hander for turn 2. They've got to make sure they can bury this corner. And that, my dear, is stage as Clint Holtman comes over. He takes the stage victory. Good job from him, and I believe that may have been Brandon McLaughlin.
I think, or was it?
Yes.
Yep.
Brandon McLaughlin showing us how not to do turn 1. Slicks, welcome in. Get your popcorn, son. 1 lap at a time, James, and a few brews. Oh, dearie me, we could be in trouble. Right, let's have a chat with your stage 1 winner, Mr. Clint Holterman, as I'm going to bring Clint into the booth. I'll try not scare him too much there, but let's have a chat with Mr. Holterman, who just took stage 1, was leading by about 12 seconds by the time you got over the line there. Clint, well done on your stage 1 win, sir.
Thank you very much.
Tell us, dude, how difficult is it out there at the moment? Because you seem to be on a almost like a Sunday drive with your grandma sat in the passenger seat.
Well, this car is very difficult on the road courses, and this is just a hard track to drive too. So, I was pushing, trying to go as hard as I could there. Since these tires can take it, they don't really wear much, so you can really push this thing. So, yeah, I was pushing as hard as I could. It's still hard to drive, but yeah, I was able to pull away there from color cut there. So. Yeah, car, once I got some air into the car, or air to the tire, or heat into the tires, it started to feel a lot better than it did the first lap, so.
Okay, have you been practicing for this? Come on.
No, I have not my first practice laps for this was when the session opened, but I really like the stock cars on road courses, and I had a league race last night at Coda in these cars, so I have a little more refresh with these cars on a road course than I would have been if I didn't do that race last night. So,
did you say you like cup cars on road circuits.
I like all the NASCARs on. The harder to drive, the better. I really like just throwing these things around the road courses. They're a lot of fun to drive.
Well, guys, as contrary to my opinion here, that'll be the last time we'll be talking to Clinton Holtman. Oh, dude, you cannot, don't. Do you know what? I just find it incredibly. It's almost very difficult because you're almost talking about house bricks on wheels here, and you're trying to go left and right when all you really want to see is just them going left and whizzing at 200 miles an hour, Clint. I don't get it.
Nah. These things are more fun going left and right, in my opinion. I prefer the Xfinity car, to be honest, because I like having tire wear. These, like, as you can see, I'm coming down pit road. Gonna give a spoiler alert. I will not be taking tires. I'll be taking fuel only, because the tires.
I don't know if anybody else is listening to you, so I wouldn't worry too much. On that one, you know what I mean? I think you'll probably be in and out before some of the field even get into the pits, and some of the guys are right round the other side of the circuit. So I don't think you got to worry too much. As I waited bated breath there for you to overshot your pit box or something, that would have been an issue. Clint, listen, dude, I think, to be honest, if you just do what you're doing already, I would be very surprised if you do not come away from the victory here, bud, because you are literally, once you start opening gaps, you're kind of cruising out in front there, eh?
Yeah, I'm hoping that's just to get a clean start here. Hopefully, no shenanigans happen with a crash to bring out a caution or something. But yeah, I feel pretty good in the car. This is definitely the thing I feel most comfortable in on iRacing, really. So hoping that everything goes smooth, and hope I can pull out a victory.
Well, dear sir, Anna McAteer says congratulations, by the way, so in YouTube chat there for your stage victory. You got 10 points and you haven't even finished the race, bud, so that can't be too bad, and that probably cement your place at the top of the standings as well for this summer season. Well, buddy, I got to pop you back down with the Orange Wheel boys. Good luck, mate. Just do what you're doing, son. Take your grandma for a drive, and there shouldn't be any reason why you shouldn't get the victory.
Alright, thank you guys.
Oh, come on, Kenton, let's be real. He has been literally taking his grandma for a drive around Sonoma, hasn't he?
Yeah, it looks like he's just gone off to go pick up some groceries, maybe, you know, a nice easygoing nap or something. But yeah, no, he's having a good old time in that car, and doesn't seem like anybody can really kind of stick on him. No,
I don't think anybody can, to be fair. I think the hairpin is one of the biggest things, right? It's interesting, though, because you said tyre wear would be an issue. Clint turns out and says they don't even worry about tyres.
Yeah, apparently tires aren't going to be even an issue for him, though. I'm curious if he takes this new set, they're going to have to most likely pit.
I don't think so.
On this second stint, because yeah, we're going 15 to 40, so there's a good chance. Although by the time we get going again, we might not have to worry about it, because we're on
23. And the lights are still on, so we're going to have one more at least. I love it. Spain now senior, beer run. That's it. That's what he's put. He's got Clint Holtman on a beer run. Why not? I agree, to be blatantly honest as well. I think he's just looked unstoppable, and unless, barring any crazy mistake from him, I can't see him actually losing this race with 23 to go. I've got to be honest, he's looked so dominating. Burrell Nana here, go Orange Wheel Racing. All right, well, there we go. Andrew Burrell sitting in 7th place, Nana. So there we go. There's your man there as well. There's your grandson, doing well for himself. A little bit worried. Why has Trenton Kimmel jumped back to the pits on what must have been under yellow? Whoa, where you gone? No, you can't do that. Did you hit the wall then? Did he hit the wall then? Hold on. Oh, he didn't, but ended up off the side of the circuit. Then he had to jump out to the pit. So Trenton Kimmel having a little bit of problems under the safety car lap. Lights still on. It should go off this time, and then we should get back up and running with 22 to go. Silly question, I'm sure, Kenton, but Who do you think is going to win? Surely Holtman?
If he gets as good of a jump as he did, I think yes. Barring him getting taken out or having an issue that way, I got a good feeling he's going to pull one out. And yeah, like Ross, yeah, I think he's going to have himself a good old time, kind of wrapping his way around the track here. It seems like he's just got this dialed in too smoothly for any issues to arise.
I agree. I think Clint Holman has just looked absolutely unstoppable. Again, guys, don't forget, if you are in the Sonoma area, you can get yourself down to the race circuit this weekend. There is a NASCAR weekend here that if you want to get yourselves down to, you can go and watch some NASCAR on road circuits. Don't forget, on the General Tire 200 on Friday, June the 7th, it goes off 3:30 for the Arca Menard Series West, and the Zip By Now Pay Later 250 with the Xfinity 5 o'clock on the Saturday on June the 8th, and then the Toyota Save Mart 350 but 12:30 p.m. for the Cup Series. So if you want to get yourself involved and get yourself down there, you can go and have a look and watch some of these cars. Andrew Kimmel, thanks for showing. Trenton was wondering where he was going, what was going on. Yeah, he seems to have had some trouble under the pace lap, which was a little bit weird. I can only find what we've watched, but I can't find anything else that he's hit anything. So maybe cold tyres. I believe he may have been into the pits and out again. Yeah, he left the pits there. So it's possible he might have been having a little bit of an issue with cold tyres, Angie. But let's get this up and running. Pace car's going to be in. They've got to wait. The pace car's got to go all the way around the outside of the hairpin before Clint Holtman can bolt here as well. I think he's just going to literally hold them as long as possible, and then he's going to floor it, and then we're going to be up and running with 21 to go. He's holding them long here. I don't know if he should have done that, to be blatantly honest. Collicott's going to get the run alongside him. I think that was a mistake from Holtman. He's just opened up the inside. Collicott's going to come up the hill in the inside line. Is he going to send it? He isn't, but Holtman there, I don't feel that was the best maneuver there, Kenton. I think he should have done what he did on the actual start of the race.
Yeah, it looks like he kind of hesitated instead of just taking full advantage of it, but still holding on to P1. Nothing too crazy changed there for him, so obviously at least for now it's worked out, and he's starting to build a little bit of a gap here and keep it going.
Well, yeah, he has opened up 7 tenths already over Devon Collicott. He's got Noel Jackowitz tucked in behind him. Armand Brusso is fully on the brakes there. You saw that back end of that car rise up as he literally stamped on the brakes not to hit Seth Pegg as these guys go weaving through turns 7, 8 and 9 and 10 before they go down into the hairpin of 11. But Holtman opening up one just touching a second as he seems to insist. Tyres are not an issue. Everybody else looked like they did take tyres, but if he didn't, fair play to him.
Yeah, I mean, he's holding pretty steady. I don't think he's opening as quick of it or as much of a gap as quickly as he did in that first stint there, but we'll see how this plays out. Like I said, I'm not sure if they're going to have to pit for fuel. I think it'll be pretty close. It'll all kind of just depend on how they run throughout. He's able to open up a big gap, as I mean, he's already jumped back up over a second now, so it'll be definitely a little interesting. We'll see how this continues going forward.
Yeah, turn 3A, we're going to take a sharp drop down the hill. We'll just watch Christian Strada and that Reese's livery machine go off the side of the circuit. Now in the right-hander of turn 4A, I promise you can count before I turn around and tell you that this is turn 7, because the infield here is obviously 4, 5, 6, 6A, 6B, I think it is, before they get into 7, but this is 7A on the run through now through the left-hander of turn 8, down through the right-hander, which is a continuation of 8, and then to the left-hander of 9. So that is why the numbers are all a little bit skewed with Seth Pegg has got Andrew Enquires hit right in front of him as well as the Australian from Melbourne. Round the right hand of turn 10, Enquires has got that all a little bit wrong. Surely this is Pegg's opportunity. Are we going to dive up why didn't we dive up the inside there? Do you know the thing for me on that one? It looked like Enquires dived for the apex. And that obviously, Yeah, he dived for the apex, which obviously then would involve moving under braking because he was in the braking zone at the moment. He was kind of diving for the apex.
Yeah, it looked like, unfortunately, yeah, Seth kind of saw that and decided, yeah, I'm going to brake a little more than I should need to, and kind of backed out of it. But thankfully, no contact made, so they can both continue, although that looks like Almquist is... Oh, and...
Peg. Oh,
I love
Carlson.
it. I agree, Peg. Peg just says, nah, I'm not dealing with this.
Yeah, I think Carlson's the first one to set this off here. He's going to go round, and then we're going to see, yeah, Andrew Almquist is going to do it. He's going to come round, stop. Peg just says, nope, over, I'm going to go. Thank you very much. Not involved in that. Adios. Thank you very much for the couple of spots there from the Australian who basically did what I would do and dive for the inside and just get out of the way. Hunter Carlson's got in there. Whoa, Nick Stockner. Where are you off to?
Took the wrong layout.
Oh, he was sliding already.
Ooh, that hit a wall hard, too.
Yep. Andrew Almquist in there once again. Calvin Ross is being chased down by young Mr. Andrew Burrell. Oh, yeah. As we've got 18 to go. This is the battle for 8. Further up from that, we've got Norberg trying to chase down on Jamie Lynn, who's in front of him in that 65 livery machine, trying to stay ahead of Christian Strada. So still a lot of action happening. Cars back together once more, which is what we love. With 18 to go. Trying to Clint Holtman, 1.5 seconds out in front here, Kenton. Job done.
Yeah, I mean, as long as he just keeps it smooth, he should be fairly okay there. But fun story, Terry Spainhour's comment, Terry Spainhour Senior, talking about a beer run, and he said, like I said, there's a case of Miller at the finish line, B-double-E double run. There's a movie, if anyone is ever curious, to watch called the greatest beer run of all time, is what it's called. The greatest beer run ever, and it was a guy who was a military vet who volunteered to bring beer from New York to his buddies fighting in Vietnam. And this is an actual true story. The guy flew out, part of a shipment bringing ammunition from New York to Vietnam, and then he snuck around the country bringing beer to his buddies.
Nice, good job
in
there.
the middle of a war. So, yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, I'm Russo, Seth Pegg going on here. Do you know the best thing about living in London is you can ring up I don't know if he's still going, but there was a thing called the Beer Man, where you used to be able to ring him up and a little guy turns up on a moped and delivers you a crate of beer on the back. It's absolutely amazing. You don't even have to go to the shop. You just ring them up and say, can I pay for it and get a keg of beer or a case, well, not a keg, because obviously I can't see him carrying that on a moped, but a case of beer, and you get it delivered straight to your house in London. Down where I am, the only thing they deliver you is wool, because we have got more sheep than we got human beings, and that's the only thing we could get. If I wanted a knitted jumper, I'd be right happy, but I don't think a case of beer getting delivered down here where I am is going to be something that we're going to look forward to. However, Armour Brusso is looking forward to trying to get hold of Seth Pegg here, and he's doing a great job in the meantime.
Yeah, he's fighting off Brusso, and Brusso's not relenting at all. He's been right on his rear bumper and nice and close, and this is going to be that might not go so well. That'll give Seth Pegg a little bit of freedom, but fantastic job by Brusso to hold, although he locks up again going into the hairpin. He's having a little bit of trouble, but he's still going forward, kept it out of the wall. What more can you ask for?
Yeah, exactly. I'm a little bit worried about what's just happened to, I think it might have been Strada there. Wondering if he made a mistake, because Strada, Norberg and Jamelin were literally nose to tail, and then Strada's dropped back about 1.1 seconds. So I'm wondering if he's made a mistake. Sizemore's back into the pits again here, Wizard. I'm sorry to tell you that as well. Wait, what? Hey, yo, welcome in. Thanks so much for joining us. Wait, as Norberg now chasing down Jamie Linton here for what will be fourth on the road. That Kenton is a friend, James. I'm moving to London.
Yeah, no kidding. I don't think I'd be willingly walking into an active road just to drink beer. Whiskey, sure. Not so much beer.
Yeah, definitely not on that one. But however, if you just ring up the beer man and get it delivered, hey, what you're losing out on? That's what I say. You know what I mean? So let's see.
I like it, Wizard. No lack of faith in Sizemore.
No, he's got them right where he wants them. Was that out on the racetrack and he's in pit lane? He's the one eating the sandwiches, I guess, for Rob Sizemore. Not having a good night, unfortunately for him, down in 17th place and 2 laps at the moment. I've got him down here, unfortunately for Rob, so I'm sure he'll be looking at trying to come back at some point if he makes it back out on the race circuit. Armand Brusso did pass Seth Pegg. We can have a look back. That's because Seth did an Armand Brusso at that corner and went off, and Brusso's just going to pop it up straight on the inside going into the hairpin. So great job from Armand Brusso, but for how long can he hang on for? That's going to be the question.
Yeah, the beautiful thing about as he locks up, he's going to keep it straight at least. Keep it on the wall. That's what you need. Yeah, but small mistakes here. They're salvageable, but you might lose a spot or two. So you definitely got to take advantage when you can of those kind of situations. And I think Sizemore just he wanted to be first in line at catering so he could get the best food after the race, right?
That's the plan.
That's what you do.
That's what I would do.
Yeah. So they don't steal all the good food.
Oh, Seth's right close to Mr. Brusso here at the moment. He's trying to pull that in really, really tight. Can he get the run going down into the hairpin? He's not going to get it. Wow, he will now. He will now. Come on, Seth. Send it, son. Send it. Surely he's got to be alongside. Oh, he ain't. Where's it gone? Why is it
tucked in behind him?
Oh, gutted. He should have had that.
He's being cautious. Because he knows Brusso's going to do that. At least once more. Brusso having a little bit of a hard time finding where that break point is. He's definitely locked up a couple times. Let's see if he's going to...
Yes.
Ooh, goes deep.
All right, let's just to avoid the wall. So he's got that deep runoff, hasn't he? But I think he's pushing a little bit harder than he needs to here, young Mr. Brusso. Let's see if he goes into the hairpin deep. We'll stay on board with Mr. Pegg as we go around the left-hander of turn 8 here, down through the right-hander, the continuation of 8 before we go for the left of 9. Seth's pulling it out now, pulls the car back in, takes a tighter line than Brusso does. Through turn 10, the right-hander. Is he going to be able to get it done this time? He's got a bit of a run now as Mr. Peggles. Is he going to make it up the inside? No, but is Brusso going to lock up? Absolutely. And now, Seth, this is it. Go on. Oh. He's got to be backing out, surely.
I think it's partially because he's taking such a tight line through that hairpin that he kind of has to. He can't really get on the gas super fast because the biggest issue with these cars is once you tire spin, you're going right off the circuit. You're going to have a hard time. So he's just be patient. It's got 13 laps. He can make this work.
Wizard, I'm sorry. He's going round. Oh. Sizemore there.
And no wall here. He's good.
Yeah, do you know the interesting thing is if you have a look in his steering, you can already feel it going because he overcorrects to try and stop it. Look, there's the correction all the way round. And if he just half that correction, that car might have been saved, right? But where he went full correction round, he must have had his hands crossed and or spun round there. Because literally he went full lock the other way to try and stop it. And then when it did grip, it sent him back the other way. So for Sizemore there, if one little bit of relaxation on the correction, he might have been all right. I'm not quite sure what Brown and McLaughlin... Oh, that's a wall. Ouch. Or a tyre battery out. Brown and McLaughlin's going to call it a day as well, I think, on that one. That's not what you want to see, Wizard. No, it definitely isn't. It's definitely not. I don't think Sizemore is loving the cup cars on the road circuits. I can tell you that one. Holtman out in front by 4.2. Then another 5 seconds from Devon Collicott to Noel Jackowitz. There's only 1.5 there behind at the moment. Jamie Lynn 4.5 behind that. Strada 1.5 behind that. Norberg 6 seconds back behind that one. Andrew Burrell in 7th place, 18 seconds back on that one. And so, yeah, getting a little bit spread out at the top end of the race circuit. But Noel Jackowitz has, well, that's Nick Stockner. That is a back marker. Stockner also having by his standards, Kenton, I think we can say he's having a rough night.
Yeah, it's I feel like a lot of people have rough days when it's a road circuit. So, but they're still here, getting your points. That's all you need. It might be the difference between winning and losing.
Yeah, I have a rough time when it's a road circuit as well. So, that was the only week, I think, for me in the official schedule calendar when I saw Cota in the trucks. I was like, no. Because I went out, did a few practice laps. I couldn't even get the truck to stop going uphill into turn one. And then I couldn't get my arms around quick enough to get it round turn one. It was just an absolute nightmare. And then I checked my time when I did finally complete a lap, and I was about 5 seconds off the people around me. I was like, yeah, I'm not this one. This is just going to be painful. Strada's into the pits here.
Interesting.
With 10 to go. Not something I expected to see unless he knows something that we don't. So Christian Strada into the pits.
And him knowing something we don't is entirely possible. Because in reality, we don't know much. We're just here for our good looks.
I know 1 + 1 is 2. You know what I mean?
There you go. Oh. Just doing a splash. Doesn't look like he's getting tires. Yeah, just a little splash and dash. Curious.
What is going on?
I heard the tire squeal.
Oh, he's overcooked that. Rob not enjoying the circuit whatsoever. Strada's gone in, splashed and dashed here. I'm wondering if anybody else is needing to do this with 10 to go, or are they going to hope that they don't have to?
I'm very curious on who's going to have to do anything like that, or if they don't have to, because they are going to go 5 laps longer than what the stage break was. So and unfortunately, no one really tells us how much fuel they had at the end of the stage break. So I guess we'll have to kind of see if more people come in.
It's a tough one because we don't get the feed for the fuel and tyre situation from obviously when you're watching a session, which is what we're obviously doing here, guys. We're not in the session, so we don't actually get that fuel mileage from the cars. It's one of the things that gets kept secret within iRacing due to the fact obviously you don't want other teams knowing where you're at with fuel and stuff when you're in an endurance event. Me, however, yeah, you know, I don't know if it makes that much of a massive difference. Joshua Kuhn is also into the pits as well here with 9 to go, so maybe it's possible there is a splash and dash needed.
Yeah, I mean, that'll add a little fun little wrinkle into the entire thing, but I guess, yeah, we'll have to see sort of who's been able to fuel save well, or who's going to have, if everyone has to come in, or what the change is going to be on that. But it looks like, yeah, Clint Halterman just kind of doing his thing, enjoying his time, driving around like it's Sunday morning.
Grandma's in the car. She wants to go and get some bread from the post office. She wants to pick up her pension. And Halterman is just doing, I don't know. All right, a roast beef.
From the post office.
Yeah, it's no, you pick your pension up from the post office and the supermarket to get your bread. Jesus.
Got it, okay.
Just got to get, the weekly money. Just normally a Tuesday or a Thursday.
80, I don't know.
Yeah, you kind of stay away from the post office. I can't remember if it's a Tuesday or a Thursday, but go in there and there's a queue of people, generally with an average age of about 75, as Nick Stockner has unfortunately taken another trip off the side of the circuit. Another man that's having a horrendous time. Halterman's lapped everybody up to Joshua Kuhn here in that 80 machine, but we're still seeing whether or not Halterman's going to have to go in to the pits. Let's see, not this time. That's Rob Sizemore of a very battered front end. Oh, he's just got into the wall.
Yeah, you want to turn a little more to the right.
Yeah, but it depends.
In case you were curious.
Depends what sort of oh, look how he can't go. Oh, he did straighten it up there. And he's Rob there just leveling out both sides of the car to make them look exactly the same, as he's got the left side damaged and now the right side is damaged as well. So yeah, Rob just leveling out the damage on the side of the car. I'm Brusso back with Mr. Pegg again as we've got 7 laps to go here.
Yeah, you just they're gonna have to bust out the Sawzall, maybe some duct tape. You know, NASCARs are basically held together by hopes, dreams, and Monster Energy. It's amazing watching like any damage what they do to those cars. They just beat the snot out of them to make them work again.
Yeah, Brusso's gone into the pits as well. I did see an image the other day which would crease me up of a mechanic literally laying on the bonnet with a hammer trying to smash the bonnet back down, which I found most amusing. I don't know if it was recent or if it was an old one that all of a sudden appeared on my feed there, but it was most amusing. Almquist is in as well. Collicott's now in. Are we saying splash and dashes? Where's that going to leave Holterman? There's a few others behind go in. Sizemall's back into the pits. Jamelin, Jakowitz, Collicott, Brusso and Almquist all into the pits. So what do we reckon then? A splash and dash needed by the looks of things.
Yeah, it seems to be that it's going to be kind of a little bit of a need. I think Halterman's probably going to try and go a little longer by lap maybe 2, as he's not really had to push too much, you know, being out in front and not really being chased for the most part. So he might have a little bit more kind of freedom to be able to pull a quick splash and dash and not, you know, need as much. So obviously the lighter you can keep the car, the faster it's going to go. So we'll see how it all ends up playing out, because I think he's got about it's about 27-second lead. So pit lane here is hilariously long. Very difficult to enjoy your pit stop time, because it just seems to go on forever.
Yes, and he has gone in there. Clint Holterman has gone into the pits. He has got time over Matthew Norberg. However, Norberg and Burrell have not gone in yet. But then again, they pitted on lap 16, so just after stage. So we do expect them to have to go in here currently. Matthew Norberg, unless he's done some major fuel saving, which he has not. He has gone in. Burrell is going to go in, so that's going to free up Devon Collicott should be in second, I believe. I think Holtman should get in and out, and he has done that. Emery takes the lead, and now Collicott going to come round with 5 to go, taking that second place.
Yeah, Collicott, he had pit early, so actually a huge jump for him. In terms of like getting a nice entry, exit, and no, unfortunately, I think he lost a little bit of time to Halterman, but keeping a solid gap between himself and Noel Jakowitz there, and he looks like he's comfortably going to be staying in 2 for now, at least.
Yeah, it does.
Things. Because we've all seen it happen.
Barring any dramas, Glissman should wrap the win up here. And should take the victory. He's just been absolutely cruising around this racetrack and literally, well, just don't really know what to say. There don't seem to be enough superlatives for him to cover that one at Kenton. I think when it comes to road circuits, I think Holterman has schooled them all and taken them to school on that one.
Definitely, and it looks like actually Seth Pegg came out just behind Armin Baruso, but just ahead of Hunter Carlson. So this little duel for 10th position is going to be very interesting. 9th, not too far ahead, but this little battle that's going to go on back here could be very exciting as we close in on the final few laps.
Well, we'll keep an eye on that one. Wait, what? If you're ever near this track in real life, check out all the wineries, especially Vianza. So Wait bringing a little bit of class into the YouTube chat as everybody else talks about beer. Wait comes in and discusses wine. So fair play to Wait on that one. Peg closed up behind Brusso once more. Are we going to see these guys going at it, as it's going to be free to go next time around? You can see Holtman is coming into turn 9 at the moment, as these guys are weaving their way round into the final corner. Is Brusso going to go in deep, or is he going to nail it this time? He's absolutely nailed it this time, and it's going to stay ahead of Seth once more. However, the leader is coming through. The question will be, will he get there before the end of the race?
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how far he ends up mopping up, because he is absolutely flying. And as I think he said, he was already up to Joshua Kuhn. I'm going to say a little further back now, but has completely cleared Almquist, chasing down Hunter Carlson at this point.
There is Holtman in the background there. There goes Nick Stockner. Unfortunately, Sizemore's 9 laps down. Stockner and Kimmel are both 2 laps down. Brusso's gone and done the same mistake again. Now is Peg going to take advantage of it, going up the inside into turn 7. Come on, Seth, get in there, son. Into 7A. Brusso tightens up. Oh!
He took way too much of the curve.
Yep. I've got a funny feeling that was him trying to cut back and try to get onto the power, and unfortunately car was still bumping as Armand Brusso's gone for a little bit of a spinneroonie. There's Peg, there's Carlson, there is Clint Holtman behind him, your leader. Oh, Clint! Oh my Jesus Christ. That was not a good choice. Like,
I think he just didn't expect Hunter to brake when he did. I think he was expecting him to brake later, because he kind of reacts really late.
but he said the wall, right?
Roughly, yeah.
See when he lifts and goes on the brakes here. Keep an eye on the dial in the middle of your screen. Oh, he takes it. Eesh. Takes it in late there. Unfortunately, it looks like Rob Sizemore, Matthew Norberg have all had another little bit of ta-ta-ta. The question was, were they all together? I've got a funny feeling Norberg's coming round here. Yes. There he goes, Rob Sizemore.
He held his brakes.
He did,
He
but...
held his brakes. An unfortunate spin for sure, but at least he was holding his brakes and didn't roll into it.
Yes.
There's just nowhere for him to go as Seth goes a little wide.
Yeah.
He's going on an adventure.
Yeah, Seth there chuckling the outback out Sonoma. Holtman's going to come over here. This is going to be the final lap of the race. You can see Pegels and Carlson battling away, but it is going to be Clint Holtman takes the final lap of this race. What's going to happen with Peg and Carlson? Well, I can tell you one thing, they haven't got to go any more laps after this one, as they're on their way around the top of the hill at turn 2 before they start the undulation of down and up through 3 and 4. So Carlson and Peg doing an amazing job. Brusso was in the mix until he obviously wasn't, unfortunately for him, as he hit the curb. And as Mr. Spainhouse Senior says, the curb is not your friend. No, it definitely isn't.
No, they will take your car very hard, and it doesn't go well when they do. You got to be very careful on that. So, it looks like his Halterman has himself a nice, easy day today.
Yes, and he has done the quadruple crown as Holtman.
Yeah.
Pole, stage win, race win, and the fastest lap. But here we go. Clinton Holtman comes over the line. He's going to wrap it up here. It's not the triple crown, it's the quadruple. Or quad crown, I should say, as Holtman goes over the line. He wraps it up at Sonoma. Now in second place is going to be this man, Devon Collicott. Looks like Seth Pegg and Hunter Carlson have had it coming together. They were very, very close going into, as we know, where... Oh, Seth, you look like you've gone rapid there, son. Oh, Carlson's gone rapid as well. Ah. Turns Mr. Pegg. Is he going to wait? Seth says, thank you very much. I'll have some of that. And he goes over the line there. Armand Brusso is going somewhere. Not quite sure where, but wherever he is, he's got up and dug in the big gravel there. Miller time, like I said, a beer run. Absolutely. Clint Holtman has just dominated. Scarily, in fact, isn't it, how much he's actually dominated.
Could make for some very interesting road courses when we get Alex Witt back. Ultimate. I think that'll make for some fun times.
Yeah, well, guys, we're going to bring you up the results here of this evening's race. We have done and dusted one caution, and that was only staged because otherwise it was all just normal road rules. Clint Holtman is your winner by 14.3 seconds over Devon Collicott. Noel Jackowitz in third, Andrew Jamelin in fourth, Christian Strider fifth, Matthew Norberg in sixth, then Andrew Burrell in seventh, Calvin Ross eighth, Joshua Kuhn in ninth, Seth Pegg in 10th, Hunter Carlson 11th, and then Armin Brusso down in 12th, Andrew Onquist 13th, Nick Stockner did not like this racetrack, neither did Trenton Kimmel, neither did Rob Sizemore, Brian McLaughlin, and Joshua Keefe, who unfortunately did not get the end of the race there. Sonoma, tough circuit, mate. Tough circuit for these guys, and I think these guys have done an amazing job.
Yeah, it looked real smooth for a good chunk of them. They kept it out of too many issues. Obviously had a couple of fun instances, but other than that, for the most part, stayed pretty smooth, and thankfully no cars looked like that during the race.
Yeah, where did do that?
I assume he did a donut.
No, he went off the side of the circuit. What did he do after this? Not too sure. We'll keep an eye on Clint Holtman for a brief moment to see how considerably lost most of his car as we wait for him to jump up into the interview booth, which he has done now. Can't quite see what he did, but whatever he did it well. So let's have a chat with your winner here, one Mr. Clint Holtman, the man who's taken the full honours this evening. He got pole, he got stage one, got the win, and just to top it off, got the fastest lap as well. He was on a Sunday cruise with his grandma in the car, thinking about what they're going to do for shopping, making sure grandma's got his dentures in. But I can tell you one thing, he definitely took the win. Clint Holtman, welcome back in the booth, sir.
Thank you. Good to see you guys again.
Yeah, long time no speak, mate. Listen, dude, you've dominated. Absolutely dominated. You got everything you need to get out of tonight. The win, fastest lap, the pole position, the stage win. There was nothing for you needed to go and do after this.
Yeah, that's really cool. It was just a car felt really good to me. And this is just I don't really know what it is, but something about the stock cars and road courses, it just I wish I knew what it was but it just is what I'm best at, honestly. I love throwing these things around here. I still really love the next gen car. You really have to fiddle with the brakes to get it to really turn right, because the default is like the brake bias is way too high. The front tires just lock up too easily with how it's default. So messing with that and dialing more brake into the rear is really what you got to do to get this car to kind of race well. But yeah, it's just something that's my favorite discipline. Whenever officials come around to a road course, I'm always doing quite a few of those. It's just a lot of fun to do.
It seems like you did have fun out there, sir, as well. Absolutely smashed it, dominated, literally schooled everybody else. So well done to you. Is there anyone you want to shout out before we let you go, buddy?
Yeah, I want to shout out my Orange Wheel Racing teammates. Andrew's on the beach today, I think this beginning of this week, but he'll be back next week, so it'll be fun to have him back, have him get a battle with him. He's not a big fan of the road courses. I'm trying to get him to do some more road courses because it really is a lot of fun. I know a lot of people don't like NASCARs and road courses, but I mean, to me it's just a lot of fun. I really love it. But yeah, it'd be fun to battle him again next week and all the other guys. We've I don't know. I think Burrow might have got his best finish of the season possibly.
seventh.
But so nice to see him up there. So yeah, shout out to those guys, and then shout out to y'all for putting on the broadcast and the race.
Awesome stuff. Well, Clint, thank you so much for joining us there, buddy. Look forward to seeing you next week.
All right, take care, guys.
Right, now we're going to have a chat with your second place man. Didn't really have an answer at all for Clint Holtman, but he wasn't alone. He was in a field of about 17 other drivers that never had an answer for your eventual race winner, but he did come out and he did get that second place like he needed to do. Devon Collicott in that 91 Chevy. Devon, welcome in, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing good, man.
Tough out there in these cars.
Yeah, no, as you said, I had nothing for Clint. He was unbelievably fast. I was quicker than him, I think, in practice by like a half second. So I was thinking maybe this is the opportunity to pull the first win. But from the drop of the green, I couldn't keep up with him. And then by the second stage, I think I managed the gap a little better, but he was just so much better through the lap traffic. And the only hope was really that he made a mistake, and it just didn't come.
No, but I think to be fair, none of us really wanted that. We described it up here as a booth as he was literally on a Sunday drive with his grandma, you know what I mean, going for a bread down the supermarket because he was that dominant. What do you do in that situation when somebody is in that? Do you just end up going, okay, I'm now second, I'm staying in second, I can't push to catch him, I'm staying ahead of the guy behind, so I'm just going to chill here? Was that the mindset going after the first stage?
Yeah, so after the first stage, I managed the gap a little better. I kept it within a few seconds. He's still kind of pulling away. But once he was like 10 seconds out front and Noel was 5-6 seconds behind me, I just backed it down a bit. It's like there's a gap on either side. Why wreck when I can just bring home P2?
A quick question for you, though. Did you think get him on that restart after stage, though? Because I thought you had a great opportunity to cover that inside going up into 2.
Yeah, I was happy with the job I did on the restart. My big worry, like I was running the brake bias relatively low to get the car to steer, and when you're coming up that hill, I felt like if I got too hard into the brakes, the back end would come around. I took it too easy into there. I mean, even if I got in front of him, I wasn't going to win. I couldn't have outpaced him, but it may be worth a try.
Yeah, it would have been a fun battle, though, wouldn't it? To be fair, let's be real, because only got to position your car in a certain place here, and it makes it even more difficult for them to get past. But Devon, thank you so much for joining me. Always a pleasure, as it always is there, buddy. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, I got a funny one. Shout out Leon Draisaitl of the Edmonton Oilers, Kenton's pick for most overrated player in the NHL, who is well on his way to the Conn Smythe Trophy.
Not going to happen. They're not going to beat Florida, but whatever.
We'll see.
Ooh. To Kenton there just comes in with his piece and then goes away again as quickly as possible. Devon, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for that one, and we'll catch up with you next week.
Yeah, for sure. Have a good night, fellas.
And you. Oh, Kenton, you feisty little rascal, you.
I stand by it. He's not a 110-point player when not playing with McDavid, and
well,
I have seen nothing that he's done in his entire career on the Oilers to say otherwise, because he only puts up big points when playing with McDavid.
Well, I have no idea what you're talking about, so I'm going to bring Noel Jakowicz into the booth here, the man who finished in third there. Was it the best he could get? Did he think he could get more? Well, let's ask the young man himself as well. Noel, thanks so much for joining us there, buddy. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good. Can't complain about a podium finish there.
Was it the best you thought you were going to get, or did you think you can get more?
I know with practice, Devon had pace. He was kind of unsure about putting in those kind of laps every lap, but once I saw that, we were running, I was expecting high 115s, maybe low 116s for the whole race. Once I saw it was about half a second faster than that, I was like, okay, either he's going to screw up or I got nothing for him, because I can consistently keep high 115s, but they had pace. They had a lot of pace. So best chance was on that restart, try and get around him, but I would have to be holding him off for the entire rest of the race, and I don't think that was going to happen. So,
No.
take a third, best we can do, but.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Devin said the same thing. Devin had a great opportunity on the restart to make the inside for turn 2. And as he said, even if I'd got in front of him, I probably wouldn't have held him up. He just looked, well, incredible. You know, to take basically pole, stage, fastest lap and the win all in one night. You know what I mean? You can tell how well the man's done there as well. Do you go out and practice on a road circuit for this race, Noel, or not really?
I mean, yeah, for road circuits, you're always going to. This one in particular, the car can be just on such a knife edge that in this one in particular, you're going to want to protect the car. So your race pace usually falls off a little bit more than some other road courses. So having to go out and be a bit careful, but with practice, more in practice maybe, you might be able to do better. But bringing home the car in one piece is still the priority.
Yeah, absolutely. I fully agree. What's it going to be, the mentality going into Chicago? Because that's very Monaco-esque F1 racetrack. What do we think's going to happen there? Because if Holterman's going to come out and do what he's done, we might have Alex back for that as well. It's going to be an interesting race for everyone.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that one goes. That'll be a first time for us as the league too.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't ran there since it came out. I think you guys were with us for our last Sonoma, which was a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
Yeah.
But Chicago will be interesting. It'll be first time for literally everyone.
Oh, God help everybody on that one.
Sure, that makes you excited.
Oh, I love it. You know me. To be fair, mate, this race wasn't bad. Seth was involved with a good battle for Brusso. There was some nice little tidy battles going on as well. So, yeah, it was all good for me. But, Noel, thank you so much for joining us there, buddy. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, as always, if we're on the podium, shout out Breakfast Club, KJ if she's in the chat, and hey, the Spain Hour crew. You guys didn't make it tonight, but always appreciate all the participation out there. So hope to see you guys at the next one.
Yeah, Terry was in YouTube chat, senior, so yeah, that was good to see. Even he didn't know his boys were going to not be here either. He even asked me. He said, "Where are they, James?" I said, "I ain't got a clue. They're your kids, mate. You look after them." So there we go. Noel, thank you so much there, buddy, and I'll see you next week.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
Take care.
See you guys.
Well, there we go, guys. That is everybody in the interview, the 1, 2, 3 of this championship. Let's bring in Kenton again for his final words. Hopefully he's settled down a bit in here after his narky comment about the ice hockey. Kenton, how did you find it? Come on, it wasn't how can I put it? It wasn't on fire, but it wasn't just it kind of just wasn't a bit of a dud either. It was kind of in the middle for me on this one.
Yeah, it happened. We'll go with that. It happened. People ran well.
They did.
We had some, good battles, and that's all you can really ask for with one of these kind of races. So, no, it was fantastic. It was a lot of fun, at least, and we had some good conversation. So, what more can you want?
Absolutely. Well, guys, that's going to wrap it up for us up here in the booth. Thank you so much to everybody that's joined us once more. It's been an absolute pleasure. Wizard, Peggles, and Anna McAteer, Mr. Spainell Senior, sir. Salute. Slicks is in there as well, and Wait What for jumping in. But for now, guys, that's going to wrap it up. Join us. It's a bit of a quiet week on JBB this week due to week 13 on the iRacing simulator. So join us on Saturday as we got the VWSC going off for the 4.8 hours of Le Mans on R Factor 2 with the 2024 sports cars and the 2024 GT3. Tune in for that one. It's going to be absolutely epic. It's got myself, Bradley Dalton, and Paul Glover up all in the booth there as well. And if you haven't heard Paul commentate, you know it's going to be absolutely chaotic. Come along and join us for that one. But I've been James Parfitt. I've been alongside Kenton Sportak. And as always, take care. Have a great week. We must see you back sometime. Good night.